I'm just smarter just sitting here with you guys. Just wearing off on me. Oh, it's great. It's a pleasure to be here. I am honored to be part of the hard rock and associated with the VCRF, and getting to know these scientists, these amazing researchers in this field over the last 24 hours has been amazing, and hearing what they are doing and how they're going about it, and how they, I mean, it's a cliche now, but thinking outside of the box, thinking about, how to get ahead of this as they see people every day getting sick with this disease. And I'm honored to be up here speaking with all of them. And I love that he's a very accomplished musician, and so I think research, science, music, very, very close, and I'm honored to be up here with these guys. Well, I think that's the key of life, though. I think that we are the key to life, the key of life, too. But I think that's...
I don't know that key.
I know. Well, Stevie Wonder, he had that key. I think my belief, and it comes from a spiritual place, is that we are all here to create. And I think as you get older, and something happens called wisdom, it's this wonderful thing that we don't cherish enough in our society. As we get older, we start thinking, okay, maybe it's not all about working, making money, and buying things. Maybe there's something else. And maybe that drive that drives us so long for, me well into my 30s, you start to say, what is life really about? What is this whole existence about? And it is about creativity. And I think so much of the way that we've set up our society and our culture is we've got a groove. You tell your kids, here's the product, here's the many ways you can make money, now go do it, and it is up to us now to think away from it, to get outside of that, because I think that causes a lot, that's the beginning of a lot of the health problems. We don't understand how culture, society, environment influences health, and that's where I like to come from. Is yes, you guys are working so hard, you get in there and get the genes, and you're figuring out this gene does that and this, and what can we do to manipulate that and get around it. And yet it has been proven that you take the genes and you put them in a different environment, and the gene will adapt to that environment. So I would like to also see the research go past into environmental research. Wow, I started creating when I was a child, and so this, I didn't go to school. I didn't, I wasn't studied on this, and to me it was an act of being still and of dreaming, and then something opens up and something comes through, and all of a sudden you're writing this or singing this, and you are inspired by that which has come before you and the music that you've heard. And starting at 10 years old, I started dreaming, and it is about creativity and intention are woven together, because you find that this creativity which comes through, and now my work then is immediate. You guys, yours is a long-term process of patience. Mine, I write this piece of music, I create this, I take it from the cosmos, the consciousness, whatever that is, you bring it through, and then I put it out and into these other energy beings out here, and then something immediately comes back. And it's this awesome energy flow that then becomes a path, a well-worn path in me. And as I got older and older, it was easier and easier to just hook up to it. It's just like, okay, and all I had to do was just be still and be alone, and okay, come on. and as this coupled with the intention, and that intention of a teenager about, I want to be a rock star, I want to be rich and famous, and you put that desire behind it, that intention behind it, and that's like rocket fuel. You can just go anywhere if you're focused on it. myself there, and the saying, you know, be careful what you ask for, because you're going to get it, is so true, because you find yourself then, I found myself in a world where, oh yeah, I was rich and famous, and now what? You know, that is not the be-all, end-all. That was the ideal dream, sort of, that our culture, again, puts in front of us. Yet, the creativity never changes. That was the gift, that was the life's blood, that was the thing that I loved to do. So there came a point, cancer, when I went through the cancer, I loved your whole changing everything. I hate to use the word breast cancer victim. I don't like that at all. And I struggle with survivor, but I understand we've made that a very positive thing, so I'm okay with that. But the creativity part, once I went through the cancer and got out the other side, I said, this is I'm going to do what I love to do every day, no matter what. And that, then, I believe, circles around to health. We are creative beings. Every day we create. And if you create what you love, you're going to love what you create. And your life is the environment of your life is going to be better. People can, that's what everyday people can make a difference. When you make a choice, when you choose a soft drink over water, when you make that personal choice to make healthier choices in your life, these companies hear that. And that's the only way it's going to change. You can't look at a business that makes $70 billion and tell them, hey, you need to be healthy or not. You guys have to make that choice. Every day, 3 times a day, you vote, you choose, you're telling these people what you will buy and what you will do. Yeah, well, actually, both of those questions sort of meld together for me, because they have one thing in common, and that is our capitalistic society. We live in a culture that is based on, everything runs on money, and it's all profit driven, and that's how our country has been set up. And in the music business, when these guys were first coming out, it wasn't about money. It was about making music. It was about what the art form was ages old, from the minstrels that would go from town to town and were regarded as shamans almost. They spoke what was happening from town to town. These were people, they could get their news from these people. So that sort of art form was healthy and alive in the beginning of rock and roll. That these people, when Bob Dylan was playing the coffee houses, he wasn't thinking about his record deal. He wasn't thinking about, am I going to sell out? Am I going to sell as many tickets this time as I did last time? Now, our country, what it does with anything that we turn our attention to, it turns it into a profit. Someone's going to make a buck from it, because that's the way our country's set up. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that's just how it is. Now, my generation, that we grew up in the 60s and 70s, saw that big change happen right around the 80s. And nowadays, brand new artists coming into it, it's not that much of a social, it's more, can I get on American Idol? Can I make that record deal? Can I make that money? And the answer to that is to support the artists that are still out there on the fringe, the ones that are bringing the communication out and forward, the ones that are being a mirror to our society. And not only in music, but in any form. What can you do? You can go to your representative, your congressman, your senator, and say, and say, this is important to me. This, whatever it is, this, our quality of life is important. I want to be more important than the corporate profit margin. My individual life is more important than this. And again, all of any corporation is based on you and what you're going to buy, what you are going to be attracted to buy. And if they see that we can change that, if they see the change, the money will go that way. If you start buying the album of the artist who is speaking some sort of truth that rings into you, the attention goes there, and you change that paradigm. So I feel the same way about both of them.